Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Denny and today I'm going to be doing 100 random questions about me tag. So I was tagged by AmyLynn. So I'm going to be looking down because I have the questions on the iPad right here. And just in case you were wondering why I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading. So the first question is, what is your full name? Whew. My name is actually Denise. And I don't like long letter names, so I remove the East and I just go by Denny. And I can tell you my last name is Gonzalez, and that's where we get guns. So, Denny Guns. Where do I live? I live in Philadelphia. What is your favorite drink? I love water. Is that lame? Is that weird? What is your favorite food? Pizza. I love some pizza. What is my favorite holiday? I don't really have a favorite holiday because I don't really celebrate any holidays. I mean, I love New Year's. That's a good one. What's your favorite childhood memory? Whew. I guess my favorite childhood memory is playing double dutch with the girls on the street or getting wet in the fire hydrant. Those are kind of like the best times that I've had. And also like youth group. I used to love going to youth group. What is your favorite way to pass time? I love watching TV. So my addiction is watching different series. What is your favorite snack? Oh, well, that's a hard one because I love chewy candy like Sour Patches. Those are kind of like my favorite. Anything chewy that rots your teeth, truthfully. I love Tootsie Rolls. Yeah, I just love chewy candy. What is your favorite sport? So I like watching hockey. I do love the Flyers, but that's my sense of sports. What is your biggest regret? I don't necessarily know that I have too many regrets, but if I would have one, it would be like not serving the Lord sooner, because that has changed my life tremendously and I feel like a completely different and new person. So that would be my only real regret. Other than that, I feel like my life has been good and I wouldn't want to change anything. Are you a fan of any sports teams? So I just answered that with my last one. So I like hockey and the Flyers. Are you a dog person or a cat person? Actually, I'm not a dog person. I don't really like dogs at all. And I would say that I'm a cat person, but I'm allergic to both dogs and cats. So right now, I'm not a pet person at all. I've had dogs in the past, and they always attacked me for some reason. So that's why I don't really get along with dogs. And I had a cat for many years, but she made me really sick, and I had to give her up for adoption. So yeah, I would say cat person. Are you scared of heights? Absolutely not. I love heights. I love roller coasters, airplanes. I like anything that takes me above the heights to be able to see the whole world. I love it. What is at the top of your bucket list? Traveling. I love to travel, and one of my bucket list things is to travel to as many countries and places that I can possibly afford. What is the one item you can't leave home without? My wallet, because it has my money, it has my ID, it has everything that I would need. Everything else, I mean, my phone, if I forget it, then I just forget it. There's probably a phone anywhere that I go anyway. But yeah, my wallet. What is the best compliment you've ever received? Any compliment where people tell me something about my personality, that does make me really happy. I don't necessarily get like specific compliments, but yeah, anytime that someone compliments on the way I treat someone, that makes me feel good, because I always try to be like the best person that I can be, and I try to express love and be kind to people and just share and just better myself. So when people notice those things, that's what I take back. What's the first book you remember reading? Well, we read a lot of books in school, but one of my first books that I read on my own as like my own type of like project was A Boy Called It. Made me cry so much. It was about a kid who was abused by his mother, or family I should say, and just like his struggles. I believe it's like a 3-part book, where the first one is just his story about everything that they did to him growing up, and it was like his biological family who treated him really wrong and like made him eat things, regurgitate them and re-eat them. It just was like so like heartbreaking. So yeah, A Boy Called It. What is the first movie you remember ever seeing? For some reason, something like Pippi Longstocking is in my head. That's like one of the things that's like resounding in my head. Like, oh, you know what? I'm lying. So one of the first movies that I remember seeing is Grease. We would see that movie so often, and I actually still love it to this day. What was the last book you read? So nowadays I read a lot of inspirational books, and the last book that I've actually read is the Bible. But secularly, I believe the last book that I read was Gone Girl. Do you have any pets? At the moment, I don't have any pets, but I did have a cat. I had a cat named Jada for many years. What is the name of my first pet? So my first pet was a dog, and he was a Pekingese and half Chihuahua and half hot dog. He was a mutt, a complete mutt, and his name was Snoopy. And what is your eye color? So my natural eye color is brown. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is yellow. What is your favorite fairy tale? So as I was filming, my mom just got here, and of course she wants to be seen. So Mom, they can't see you. You gotta get lower. This is my mama. Alright, so she's gonna go downstairs, but I'm gonna finish with the questions. So my favorite fairy tale, I really don't have a favorite fairy tale. If I did have to say, I do like Shrek. I like that movie, and I like the fairy tale concept of like identifying with like being a little ogreish. So I guess that's my fairy tale. She's crinkling things over there. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? I am so plain, so vanilla. What is your favorite music genre? I do like dance music, but more like pop and like reggaeton and like a mixture of like Latin infused pop, I would say. So that's like my favorite type of music. And then I also like R&B. What's your favorite quote? I don't really live by quotes, but if I had to choose one, it would be the change that you wish to see in the world. I believe that was Gandhi who said that. What is your favorite type of clothing? So even though I like all things fashion, because I really do, I love some comfortable clothing. If you give me yoga pants and like just a comfy shirt, I could live in that forever. What is your most common swear word? Well, don't really swear because I don't like to. I feel that there's a lot of ways to express yourself without actually having to swear. But if I had to say one, it would probably be like poop. If I say anything, it would be like crap. Do you have a best friend? If so, then who? So my best friend is actually my husband. He is my best best friend forever. But other than my husband, I would have to say it's my girlfriend Aisha, who I filmed with not too long ago. That is my favorite girlfriend to be with. And yeah, but my husband is my best friend. Do you have a tattoo? Actually, I have 4. Do you have any allergies? I do. So I'm allergic to a bunch of things. I believe I have about 8 different allergies, but I'm hoping that they will all leave. Do you have any birthmarks? If so, where? So I do have birthmarks. I have a bunch of them and mostly on my legs. So, do you prefer kissing or cuddling? Cuddling. What piece of technology can't you live without? My phone. What was the first concert you've ever attended? I believe my first concert was a Gilberto Santa Rosa concert, which is a salsa singer. What was your favorite subject in high school? My favorite subject was science, but not because I like science, only because the we had a deaf charter and there was a deaf student in our class, and the interpreter would come in and the interpreter would interpret in sign language to the student, and that was the only class that they were in. And I would just, instead of listening to my teacher, I would be mesmerized with people doing sign language. And actually, that was my major. So, what was your first job? So, my first job was as a clerical assistant, I should say, at Cigna. What was your least favorite subject in high school? Least favorite was history. I'm just like not really into history, which is weird because my husband really is. So, what is the furthest you've ever been from home? The furthest I've ever been from home was England, because I've been to, I went for a student exchange program to Whitchurch, and that was the furthest I've been from home. When was the first time you were on a plane? The first time I was on a plane, I was a baby because my family travels back and forth to Puerto Rico all the time. And I believe I was like 6 months when my mom went to Puerto Rico for the first time with me. So yeah, I believe that was my first time. When was the last time you cried? Well, anyone who knows me knows that I cry often. For some reason, I have very like teary eyes, and they water a whole lot. So if I laugh, I cry. If I'm happy, I cry. If I'm sad, I'm crying. The wind hits me, my eyes cry. So, but actually like cry because I'm sentimental, probably like 3 months ago. But my eyes tear all the time, so crying is something normal. Who is the best teacher you've ever had? So I really liked this one teacher that I had for English. Her name was Miss Lodenthal, and she was a really nice lady, and a lot of people did not like her. She was a younger teacher too, and I remember a lot of the kids would make fun of her because of her name, and I remember I just liked her because she helped me out. She's the reason that I got my first job, and she was just a great teacher. So Miss Lodenthal, if you ever see this video, you were my favorite teacher. Who's the first person you call when something exciting happens? My husband. Who's the first person you call when something horrible happens? Carlos. Yeah, I always call him. No matter if it's good or bad, he's the first one that I go to. Who is your favorite musician? I don't really have a favorite musician. I don't have one. Who is your role model? So my role model for life is Christ, but if I had to choose a secular person to have as a role model, someone that I look up to highly, it would have to be my mom. My mom is a wonderful person, and she is just like, she's my rock. And the older I get, the more I realize that she is who, I appreciate greatly. Who's your celebrity crush? So, crush like that I like them on a physical level. I have weird taste and weird reasons for liking different people, but I like people who have interesting facial features or weird quirks about them. And I really like Nicolas Cage, but I like him in his younger days. There's something about a crooked smile that I like. I don't know why. So I mean, I really like Nicolas Cage, even though his movies are horrible now. Who is your favorite actor? So for favorite actor, I would say like I like people from back in the day. John Travolta was like a great actor, and Julia Roberts, and I just like the classic actors. I don't have a favorite per se. I just like people who really take acting serious, and yeah, I don't have a favorite. Describe yourself in one single sentence. I would describe myself as I'm a misfit. I think that sums it up. I'm someone who doesn't fit into the mold of what they should be. So, but I'm also, I could be a part of everything, but yet a part of nothing. So, I'm a misfit. Have you ever dated two people at the same time? Unfortunately, I did date two people at the same time, but this was like way back when, and it wasn't like cheating. It was more so, it was dating, and I didn't have a commitment to either person. So I dated one person, dated the other person, and hung out with both of them, and was trying to figure out who I liked more. So yeah, I've dated two people at the same time. Have you ever suffered a fracture? Yes, I have. I fractured my pinky. It's the reason why it doesn't really sit well with, like, whenever I do my videos, this finger always is popping up, because I fractured that finger. And I also fractured my elbow. I've fractured my ankle. So I've had a bunch of fractures. Have you ever visited a country outside of your continent? Yes, I have. I've visited the UK, and I visited South America. I went to Costa Rica. So I visited quite a few different places. If you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be? Save money, invest in yourself, and travel more. See as much as you can and do as much as you can. When was the last time you swam in a pool? I went swimming, I think August was the last time I went swimming. I spent like my whole summer at Sahara Sam, so I was in the pool all summer. What is your most embarrassing moment? That's a funny one. So my most embarrassing moment, which only happened around like two people, was one time I fell. I tried to jump over a wall, or like a porch, I should say, and I got stuck on the rocks of the side of the wall, and my skirt got stuck over it, and my skirt was slowly going up, and you can see my panties. And there was a guy who was at his car, and he saw my underwear, and my friend who was with me, who was also a boy, who told me to jump, could also see my underwear. And then I had to end up pulling myself up to get myself out of that situation. And when I came back up, my skirt was slit like completely down the sides, and I had no clothes to wear. So I had to wear my friend's clothes to go home, and it was very embarrassing just because I was very young and boys saw my underwear. I was like, I don't know, like 10 years old, and yeah, that guy was really staring at my underwears. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, rate your fashion sense. I would say my fashion sense for other people is like a 9. For myself, 7 or 6. Depends. I have my moments where I feel like I'm hot, I'm fly, come look at me, yes, I did it. And then there's other times where I feel like, nah. So my fashion sense for myself would be like a 7, but for other people like 9. I kind of usually know like what works well with them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your driving skills? I rate my driving skills as a 10, but my husband would rate them as like a 7, because I'm a cautious driver and I don't like when people like try to run up on you. And so I'm not really aggressive with my driving, but I can be. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your cooking skills. I rate my cooking skills as a 10 because I think my food is the best. And my husband would rate it a 10 as well because he loves it. And most of the time people ask me to bring dishes to parties, so I think it's good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a kisser are you? I would rate myself like, I don't know, I'm probably like out of practice, but I would say like an 8. I don't really like kissing people. One thing you know now that you wish you knew as a kid: don't take things personal. Words really can't kill you. I was bullied as a kid. I was called names as a kid, and I took a lot of them to heart, and I felt really down about myself for a long time, but I found my own self-confidence throughout the years. But as a kid growing up, I had sort of really like low self-esteem about myself, just because the kids can be cruel, and you let that get into your head and you kind of become what they say you are when you believe it. So I would tell myself, none of that matters. You're going to grow up to be an amazing person. You're going to be a beautiful woman, so don't worry about what they have to say or if people don't like you. The first app you check when you wake up in the morning. Usually the first app that I check is Facebook, because I always have a bunch of messages or things from Facebook, so that's usually the first thing that I open. But if I had the control of like not having notifications, I would say then I would probably check YouTube or do that first. What app do you use the most? Well, nowadays the app that I use the most is YouTube. But on the regular Snapchat, yeah. I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time on my phone when it comes to like apps and things. I don't know. What are some of your bad habits? I have bad eating habits. I like junk food on a whole nother level. So one of my bad habits is eating candy right before bed. After I've brushed my teeth, I'll still eat a piece of candy. I just need my mouth to like have another flavor than toothpaste. That's pretty much my bad habit, is like eating candy before bed. What are your hobbies? So my hobbies are shopping and doing my makeup. Mainly shopping. Shopping. Can shopping be a hobby? Is shopping a hobby? Because if it is, it's my favorite thing to do. But like other hobbies, like plain Jane hobbies, I do like crochet, which I haven't done in a long time. I paint, and I like being very creative. I write poems, and yeah, anything where I can express myself. Those are mainly what my hobbies are. What countries would you like to visit? So I would love to visit Japan. It's one country that is high on my list. I would love to go to China. I would love to go to Rome, Italy, and also Ireland. There's a bunch of things on my list that I would love to go to, just because I love scenic backgrounds and I love the taste of different foods. I would love to go to Greece. I would love to go to Egypt. There are so many places I want to go to. What do you consider unforgivable? Well, being a Christian, I feel that everything is forgivable, but something that I feel is like it's super intensely hard to forgive is when someone abuses someone, whether it be like a child, like when people practice pedophilia. I feel like that's just beyond like the level of what people should be doing. I don't know what other sense, there's a bunch of things that are unforgivable, like someone kills your family member. That's sort of like, people hold a lot of unforgiveness in their heart when there's tragic things like that, which you can't really, you can't even begin to blame someone for that mental status of like not being able to forgive. But my own personal life, I'm very forgiving, and I don't think there's anything that someone can do to me that I won't eventually forgive, because I'll eventually forget. I don't hold a lot of anger in my heart. I just don't dwell on any of that too long at all. There's no need. What do you do for a living? So my daytime job is being an administrative assistant for a home care agency. And then, so my volunteer job is being a youth pastor at my church. Do you have any kids? If not, do you want any? And if so, how many? No, I don't have any children. Yes, I do want to have children in the future, and I would love to have 3. Have you ever had surgery? Yes, I've had surgery. They removed my tonsils when I was a child. What is your guilty pleasure? Spending my money when I should be saving it? Is that a guilty pleasure? I mean, I feel guilty after I spend all my money, but guilty pleasure, I don't know. What's a guilty pleasure though? Like, I feel like everything is just, you can just do what you like to do. There shouldn't be any like guilt behind it. Probably like a guilty pleasure would probably be like vegging out all day for like a whole weekend. Like, just Friday rolls in and you don't get out of bed Saturday or Sunday. That to me would be a guilty pleasure. What is the one makeup item you use even if you aren't doing makeup? Believe it or not, I will still put on my brows even though I won't do my makeup. That's like, I don't know, I just feel like we're in a brow type world where if you don't do your brows, who are you? But prior to that, I mean, this is like new. But prior to that, it was mascara. You can't just leave the house without mascara. If you were a crayon, what color would you be? Is this cheating? Have you guys ever seen those crayons that are made out of like a bunch of different colors all mashed together? And then like when you start writing, it'll keep changing into a new color. I feel that that embodies me. You never know what you're gonna get. I'm full of everything. I have so many different like layers, or I just feel like I'm a combination of everything, and I would say I'm one of those multicolor crayons. That's how I feel on the inside. But if I had to choose a color, then I would be a happy color. I would be like a aqua ocean color, because I feel like I'm very like the waves, like water. Yeah. Favorite place to vacation. So I don't typically vacation in the same place every year, but if I had to say a type of climate that I love tropical, and I love going to the Caribbean. Any island, just send me there. By the beach, by the pool, anything with sun, anything with a breeze and waves, sign me up. But I do like going to Canada a lot, but that's not a vacation. Those are just like getaways. The last movie I watched. So the last movie I watched was I Can Only Imagine. It was actually a screening for I Can Only Imagine, which comes out next March, and it's based on the song I Can Only Imagine. The person who, Mercy Me, the group that actually wrote the song. And it was actually a really good screening. And well, if you're seeing this now, you'll have plenty of time to see it next year, March of 2018. How tall am I? I believe I'm 5'7". I believe that's my height. I haven't measured my height in years, but that was the last time that I measured myself. That's how tall I was. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Are you taken or single? I'm married. Who are your top 3 YouTubers? Well, nowadays I really like smaller channels, but if I would have to say big channels, I really like Graveyard Girl. She's one that I've been watching for years. And I also watch Nikki tutorials. I just love the way she puts her face together, and I feel like she's very creative. The third one would be Kathleen Lights. I do watch her a lot. I used to watch Candy Johnson a lot as well because I love her transformation makeup, and I actually told her that when I met her. And then, who was the first person on YouTube you subscribed to? So I think like the first person that I subscribed to was like a nail art channel, probably like Dear Natural, or Cute Polish. Those were the first people that I subscribed to. Do you have any siblings? If so, older, younger, or both? Well, I'm an only child, but I do have a stepsister, and she is older than me. But that's it. What is the first thing you notice about people? The first thing I notice about people is their mouth. For some reason, I don't even look at people in the eyes. I look at them in the mouth. For some reason, that's where I gravitate to. And because people have like really interesting lips and teeth, and just the way we move our mouths or stick out our teeth, it's just like something that is very interesting to me. What kind of phone do I have? I have a iPhone. I have the 7. What is the last thing you purchased? The last thing I purchased was the Nintendo Switch, which I purchased for my husband for his birthday. What's your favorite clothing store? I'm kind of basic when it comes to certain things, and I'm bigger than most people, so I like Ross because I feel like I find a lot of different things there. I don't have like a specific store that I like to shop at. I used to shop a lot at Torrid and like at Ashley Stewart, but now I just like go to Ross or Marshalls. But those are the main stores that I go to get clothing. What's your favorite makeup store? Ulta. If you don't know, Ulta needs to pay me because I say Ulta in just about all of my videos. Ulta's my favorite makeup store. Where is your go out to eat spot? I'm very eclectic with what I eat and like what I like to eat. So I can have like a taste for sushi, the same as I can have a taste for like Spanish food, or a taste for Mexican food, or a taste for Greek food, or Middle Eastern. I don't have like a favorite to-go spot in general. But I have one in each category. The place that I frequent the most often is Mexican. What's your favorite TV show as a child? A Small Wonder. I really loved shows like that for some reason. I grew up in a time where there was actually good TV. I remember watching that. I remember watching Different Strokes. I remember watching like Family Ties, like just like different shows that we no longer have anymore. I liked Full House and things like that. Sister. So I grew up watching things like that. And Alf. I really used to like Alf too. Have you ever taken karate lessons? I have never taken karate, but I did take Taekwondo. So I don't know if that kind of like fits in the same category because it's martial arts. So no karate, but yes, Taekwondo. Do you have any nicknames? So I guess my nickname would be Denny or D. A lot of people call me D. For some reason, people like to try like Niecy, but we're not having that around here. Nope, I don't like it. Have you ever stolen a street sign? For what? So no, I've never stolen a street sign ever. I don't see the reason behind wanting one. What's the one thing you miss from your childhood? I miss being carefree. I miss laughing with my cousins and having them come over all summer. Do you bite your nails? On occasion, I will bite my nails. If I'm watching an intense movie that is really working my brain, I will chew off my nails. So yes, but not on the regular. What is the one TV show or movie you hate that everyone else loves? Game of Thrones. Why does everybody want to watch that show? It just seems so boring to me. So don't tell my husband, but Game of Thrones, I don't really feel interested in that. And probably half of my subscribers are gonna leave after I say that. Nah, you guys will stay, right? What makeup trend are you not a fan of? Not really into like the whole like super sculpted, over contoured face. I'm just not into like that super contouring. I'm not into that. What is your biggest pet peeve? I have a bunch. Can't stand when people don't know how to put things back in their place. If you grab something and it didn't go there, you should put it back where you found it. And the last one is, what do you dip a nugget in? Ranch? Depends whose nuggets they are. If it's Chick-fil-A, then I like their Chick-fil-A sauce. But if it's anywhere else that doesn't have, I like honey mustard, I like ranch. Let's just put it there, ranch. Okay, so that was all 100 questions. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe, become a member of my family, and as always, from my house to yours. Love ya.